नमस्ते, welcome. Finally, Asia Cup खत्म हो गया, शुक्र है. And now we can go back to talking about cricket as always. But so today's podcast is not about what happened in the final. Today's podcast is about one fundamental question. And if you guys have not voted till now, I already had put up a poll on the YouTube live stream saying did the Asia Cup boycott work, और उसमें मैंने जानबूझ के 3 ऑप्शन दिए हैं. Usually it's a yes and no question, but this time I've given 3 options: yes, no, and maybe. And till now, no is 45%, maybe is 33%, and yes, it
22
worked
होगा
is
ना फिर
22. हाँ, तो मतलब who are these people who think the boycott worked? I want to know, hear their logic. I am in the maybe camp. Genuine answer. I think maybe the boycott worked because it worked in the first half, but then the government was very shana and it made the players and the management do things, and then India beat Pakistan twice, and then everybody was like, अब तो जीत ही गए हैं, तो अब तो फाइनल आ ही गया है, तो अभी देख लो. I still didn't watch the whole tournament till the extent that I did not watch the highlights also. So मेरे को कोई क्रिकेट का क्वेश्चन मत पूछना, मेरे को कोई आइडिया नहीं है. मैंने लिटरली एक भी बॉल नहीं देखी, मुझे कुछ मालूम नहीं है टूर्नामेंट में क्या हुआ. So it worked in the first 2 games, in my opinion, and I will give you a baseline idea of the numbers to both of you. So पहली 2 गेम में 28,000 इनकी कैपेसिटी है स्टैंड की. पहली गेम में 20,000 टिकटें बिकी, ठीक है. सेकंड गेम में 16,000. सो व्हेन द बॉयकॉट वाज एट इट्स पीक, सेकंड गेम में 16,000 टिकटें बिकी हैं सिर्फ. और फाइनल में डबल रेट था, मगर पूरी बिक गई 28,000 फाइनल में. दूसरी बात, इनिशियल टीवी हिट्स वर देयर, बट फाइनल में सबने दबा के मैच देखा है, ये बोल रहा हूं. यूट्यूब हाइलाइट्स के व्यूज स्टैंडर्ड रहे, वेबसाइट हिट के व्यूज कम हुए इनिशियली, बाद में बढ़ गए. तो ये हाल है. सो मेरा आंसर मे बी इसके लिए है कि एक्चुअली में जेन्युइनली स्टार्ट में वर्क हुआ, और इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट की थोड़ी फट गई होगी कि गवर्नमेंट ने सोचा कि ये तो पासा पड़ गया उल्टा हमारे ऊपर. सो गवर्नमेंट ने प्लेयर्स, और यार मगर व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से टू अ गवर्नमेंट दैट फोर्सेस क्रिकेट प्लेयर्स टू डू दिस शेमलेस एंटिक्स? बोथ ऑफ यू.
You want to go first? Okay. So first I'll tell you the boycott, right? I'll come to the first question first. Did the boycott work? It worked in the league stage, the first match. The second match, by the time it came, people had stopped caring about the Asia Cup, right? The second match was not boycott, it was apathy. That is what scared the BCCI more. Because if the Indian fans have the attitude of apathy, कि क्या है, ठीक है ना, मैच चल रहा है, चलने दो ना, हमको कुछ और देखना है. That is when BCCI's biggest advantage that they have, कि whatever we show on TV, people will watch, right? That gets taken away. Because say that goes to the IPL, कि IPL में why should we watch a match every day, right? कोई भी बकवास मैच है, नहीं देखना है. And that viewership goes away. उनकी फट गई. And that is when the messages changed. The ideas changed, and suddenly people were back on Sunday with the final, right? The marketing was also very innovative. Even post-match tweets were innovative. They sort of tried to link it to a larger geopolitical narrative. It's not just India, Pakistan. And then you suddenly find news channel cameras conveniently placed where colonies are watching the match together, और किसी नवरात्रि के प्रोग्राम में पीछे मैच का चल रहा है. Now I can tell you, I have been to thousands of Garba festivals and stuff. We love our cricket, but no Gujarati is going to watch a cricket match while doing Garba in peak Navratri. अगर खेल लोग को देखना है तो फोन पे देखेंगे. But then I saw a couple of big events where बड़ी स्क्रीन पे दिखा रहे हैं और गरबा भी चल रहा है. नहीं होता ये. So all this was clearly set up to show that now suddenly Indians are okay watching the TV, right? So that messaging was kind of messed up. But to come to your point, I don't think BCCI should be forcing political messages on Indian captains and stuff, because that is what makes us apart from PCB. Do we want to turn into PCB, where essentially the PCB chairman is a 13th cabinet minister of the Pakistan government, and then the Pakistani team just does what the Pakistani prime minister wants? No. So I'm not a fan of that. Nikhil.
Kushal, I've never seen any cricket tournament, especially in which we're playing Pakistan, where you'd run a poll where effectively 55% people are saying they either liked the boycott or kind of unsure on it. Otherwise, normally it would be that nobody would ever think of a boycott. Nobody would ever think in terms of stepping away. So just from what your starting position normally would be, this is a big, big change. And it will still worry the BCCI. And you're absolutely right. The scale of antics that were required to bring this to any point of interest, forget about the fact that they're shameful. They are utterly shameful. And you have reduced cricketers, even in my eyes. But that you needed this, that cricket as a product itself couldn't sell itself. That's a huge statement. And you can, for the purpose of an Asia Cup, you can do this. All right, you manipulated a little, ratings went up. But don't think that the ratings are a sentiment in itself right now. Because the actual sentiment is that 55%. And if you accept, and if you have the humility to accept that, and by the way, you're doing this poll today. Yeah. If you had done this poll in the middle of the tournament, that 55% may have been higher. Substantially higher. Right? So today you may have, by manipulation, created a situation where that number is where it stands and people are talking about a final, but that's not the real sentiment that underlies what has happened here. The real sentiment that underlies it is that the Indian government screwed this up. They messed it up from start to scratch. They had a very easy decision. The Asia Cup has been regularly boycotted by teams on exactly these principles. It could have easily been boycotted by India on exactly this principle today. And it would have made no difference to the ICC tournament because a simple distinction could have existed. You didn't choose that. You chose the other route. You perhaps thought, and from the way Amit Malviya has been spinning like a top today on X, I can tell what they were thinking, that they'll eventually we'll win and we'll ride that way, but you will not get to ride that way. Because what has unfolded yesterday is crazy. मतलब आप कभी हाथ नहीं मिलाना, कभी ट्रॉफी नहीं लेनी, मतलब ये चीजें मेरे को नहीं समझ आती. Honestly, I'll be like to start drawing distinctions. Oh, but Mohsin Rizvi was a part of the government, so we will not. But you knew this from the start. You knew he's the ACC president. You know he's going to deliver the trophy. You don't have a deal on that. And then you decide to throw a tantrum there. That's fine. All right, chalo, आपने ये भी किया. वो बहन का टका ट्रॉफी लेके भाग गया. तो ये चल क्या रहा है यार? तुम लोगों ने बनाया क्या है यार ये नहीं, मगर मेरे को एक बात बता. Worse than a neighborhood tournament between two bickering schoolboy groups here.
No, actually, I felt like we were looking at the Giles Shield or the Harris.
I swear to you, I can't stop laughing at the idea that Rizvi was standing there and his ego was so fed up. This is so peak Punjabi, I can't begin to tell you. And he's sitting there like, मैं तो ट्रॉफी लेके जा. बढ़ गए सारे के सारे.
नहीं निखिल,
नहीं वो गली क्रिकेट नहीं होती, पैचो मेरी बैटिंग होगी, मैं बैट लेके.
हाँ बैट एग्जैक्टली. मैं बैट लेके भाग जाऊंगा, मैं स्टंप्स लेके भाग जाऊंगा. अब खेलो.
And now their trolls are passing comments on the Indian team, which is mock lifting trophies. And the thing that the Indian team did, which I found comical, they should never have done, are those photographs that they're doing with a fake install Asia Cup trophy. अबे क्या जरूरत है? ट्रॉफी नहीं मिली, own it यार, नहीं मिली. But ठीक है, we have the pride of having won the tournament. I mean, but really, I'm at my wits' end at the level of, if you decide to play this tournament, you know what they're like, right? You allowed first, be clear about this, we instigated this, right? हाथ नहीं मिलाने, ये नहीं करना, वो नहीं करना, वो हमने शुरू किया, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. तो आपका जो अगर ये प्लान था कि आपने यही करना, क्योंकि ये पहले मैच से हुआ है, this has not happened in the second match, this happened from the first match. तो अगर आपका ये आइडिया था कि ये सभी आपने करना है, तो आपको तो पता था कि वहां से भी रिस्पांस आएगा ही आएगा. Because, if you go low, Pakistani will find the gutter to jump into. There's no doubt about that. So if that is what was going to happen, then what the hell kind of message were you sending out, and what is your planning here?
No, but I have a question. Dekho, and for both of you, Kushal and Nikhil, Mohsin Naqvi is the PCB chairman that is appointed by the political party, right? PCB chairman is appointed. Usse pehle Ramiz Raja tha, usse pehle koi aur tha. All these people have no problem if our ex-cricketers, Sunil Gavaskar, Harsha Bhogre, Ravi Shastri, do Shaz and Wear show with Wasim Akram, Ramiz Raja in Hindi commentary, Waqar Yunis. Abhi Ramiz Raja ko kya matlab, wo sant ho gaya kya? PCB chhod diya uske baad. He was making all sorts of crazy statements when he was PCB chairman. So he is invited into the Indian channel's box. Most Indians will tune into the commentary when they watch the podcast in the broadcast in Hindi. But suddenly you don't have a problem with the predecessor, you have a problem with the successor. और मोहसिन नकवी के बाद कोई और आएगा उनसे प्रॉब्लम होगी, then Naqvi will be allowed in the commentary box. मतलब क्या है ये? What is this?
A deeper argument with Naqvi, that of political involvement. That is the same ground on which Zimbabwe was being banned at one point in time by the ICC, and that is definitely a part of the ICC charter. That you can't have, and that is why Sharad Pawar had to vacate at one time, right? So you could have created these issues for them as well, and they would have been legitimate issues. They would have been issues at the level of the ICC. But you tried to basically I'm starting to get the feeling the IT cell is running the government. The IT cell decides कि हमारी पेटीनेस किस लेवल तक जाएगी, because ये आईटी सेल लेवल की बात नहीं हुई. This is an IT cell script that you do idiotic things of the sort that you did, and then an idiot runs away with the trophy. I'll never get over that, bro. He ran away with the trophies and the medals. And this is the farce that you're left with at the end of what was otherwise a farcical tournament. By the way, from whatever scorecards I saw and the stories that I heard about all this, not that I watched a minute, I didn't comment on it. We played pretty badly as well throughout the tournament. It's just that it's a T20 format, so one or two players play well and the whole thing changes.
Both teams, from what I read, and I read reports, and I hadn't watched the tournament, but I watched the highlights because ye podcast mein I was like, koi ek to puchega hi question. So both teams, at least from what I saw, were trying very hard to lose. Both teams were trying very hard to lose, and I मैंने YouTube पे ही देखा जो देखा था. So I missed a lot of the nuances that people were talking about. But then it's a T20 game, bloody hell. There's no nuance in that. Aketoko, right? So another question that was doing a lot of rounds on social media is Bumrah, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have followed this. Mohammad Kaif called out Jasprit Bumrah, saying you used to bowl differently under Rohit Sharma and you used to bowl differently now. And Jasprit said, you were wrong then and you are wrong now. And this is a new one. I have not seen a lot
of... responded to that as well.
Yeah.
He responded to that very politely, but he did.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Was Bumrah right or in giving it back to Kaif? Or
No, I have no problems with that. I don't pick reactions by players. Once you dive into it, you dive into it. Yeah, people will say what they want to say.
No, I think it's genuine.
But Jasprit Bumrah will have to accept that at the time at which he was being lauded as the greatest fast bowler that's ever played the game was during the Australia series, where his bowling truly was. I keep telling people this. I get it that the first day Perth pitch was amenable to excellent fast bowling, but you still have to bowl a spell for the ages, and he bowled something extraordinary that day. I don't care the pitch was green and it was moist and there was a lot of movement and even movement in the air. Sure, but you still have to get it right. He was unplayable and you cannot keep bowling that all the time. And you're seeing that with Bumrah now. His bowling standards have been diminishing since then. England series, he was okay. I don't think he was great other than the first bowling innings that he had at Leeds. I don't think he was particularly great beyond that. Always good. This is Bumrah. It's always very good, but not particularly great. And I don't think in this tournament he's been particularly good either.
Yeah, he's not.
Right? So I think maybe Kaif is also not adjusting to that fact. And, there's a peak. And then there are various, on either side, you have an upward climb and a downward climb. And perhaps Bumrah's on one of those right now. He can't sustain that peak in that way. That peak was just extreme level of quality.
2-3 more points about this whole boycott business. I think people are underestimating the loss for Sony. Sony invested in this entire thing because cricket is the one thing that would have gotten their apps subscriptions. Boss, I can tell you, it backfired like a motherfucker for them.
Yeah.
Sony must be like, Ram Jado, मैंने यही सोच के ली थी तुम्हारी rights.
But Sony had India England. Sony is about to have the Ashes, which is probably going to be one of the best Ashes in the last few times, given how competitive England.
भाई
has
इंडिया
been.
इंग्लैंड डिजिटल राइट्स तो हॉटस्टार के थे, सोनी के कहां थे?
That is true. That is true.
भाई सारी गेम डिजिटल राइट्स की है, तू क्या बात कर रहा है? टीवी राइट्स को क्या पिछवाड़े में डाले? डिजिटल राइट्स का गेम है अभी, क्रिकेट इज गोइंग डिजिटल, और सोनी ने ये एशिया कप में डिजिटल राइट्स लिए, और उनकी रेटिंग देख ऐप की, इस समय सोनी लिव की रेटिंग देख ऐप की। ये हम लोग जैसे हरामियों ने उनकी मार के उनकी खोल दी है पीछे से।
भाई मैंने लास्ट 3 दिन से ना राइडर कप देखा है, और अगर तुम लोगों ने राइडर कप मिस किया है ना, यू मिस वन ऑफ द ग्रेट टूर्नामेंट्स ऑफ ऑल टाइम. इट वाज सेंसेशनल, इट वाज इनक्रेडिबल. इट वाज बेटर देन वाचिंग दिस शिट शो ऑफ अ क्रिकेट सीरीज.
यहाँ पे तो क्या है भाई, NFL football season has started, American football, so that's all I've been watching for the last 3 days.
Boss, I'm telling you that 55% is a huge thing, Kushal. It's a huge thing.
77% by the way.
55% लोग बोल रहे हैं कि यार in one extreme or the other I was disinterested.
Yeah, but you have said the correct word, disinterested. So I don't think it was first match was boycott, but then people were disinterested. But I'll tell you what pissed me off a little bit was I saw news reports ki army, a couple of soldiers were watching the game and stuff, and people extrapolated saying army bhi match dekh rahi hai. Bhai, army, Indian army is not one 6-minute clip that you watch on Twitter. Indian army is a lot more complex and complicated than that. If you want,
Indian army does not owe these fuckers any answers, यार.
I agree.
घर में जाके उनकी गांड तोड़ के आती है यार.
No, that's not. No,
ऐसा होता है जब आपकी पाकिस्तान की प्रॉब्लम है ना, उसमें एक ही एंटिटी है जो कुछ करती है, वो इंडियन आर्मी है.
इस टट्टे को देखो, भोसड़ी का लाइव स्ट्रीम में आके गांड में उंगली कर रहा है, मादरचोद. इसको देखो.
ये वन पंच मैन का क्या मतलब है?
वो चूतिया है ना, वो कुछ भी बोलेगा. अभिजीत, तुझे मालूम तो है वो ऐसी हरकतें करता है हरामी.
हाँ, नहीं, आई एम सेइंग दैट देखो यार, इंडिया पाकिस्तान के जो इश्यूज है ना, उसमें आर्मी इज आर्मी, आर्म फोर्सेस जनरल, दे आर द वंस दैट डिलीवर फॉर यू. एवरीबॉडी एल्स इज वन और द अदर ब्रांड ऑफ चूतिया. जैसे एशियन पेंट्स का शेड कार्ड आता है ना, वैसे चुतियापे का भी शेड कार्ड आता है.
एग व्हाइट, ऑयस्टर व्हाइट, पर्ल व्हाइट, एक्चुअल व्हाइट.
इन अदर वर्ड, घड़ा चूतिया, डंगोर चूतिया, हल्का चूतिया, मतलब आता है यार, पूरा शेड कार्ड आता है.
मगर यार तू मेरे को एक बात बता, देख लोग अभी है ना, देख मैंने मैच नहीं देखा मगर मैंने वो बूम की क्लिप देखी. मैं झूठ नहीं बोला, मेरे कलेजे को तो अच्छा लगा बूम ने जो किया हारिस रऊफ के साथ. इधर बड़ा अच्छा लगा मुझे, मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा लगा.
No, but it's also a change in tone, right? Like you had 2021 mein kuch India Pakistan were not friendly, but after that 152-0 loss that we had in Dubai, you saw Indians and Pakistani players hugging each other and calming each other down and stuff like that. That has changed, right? That has totally changed. But I will only believe that this is the sentiment when I see that camaraderie disappearing in the commentary box. Agar commentary box mein wo tension dikha na, then we'll see ki actually kya ho raha hai. Right now, I only see this on the field.
Eventually, sport should be played in the way in which you can, at the end of the match, have some camaraderie. This is why I'm saying boycott was essential, because अभी mood बहुत ज़्यादा चढ़ा हुआ है. अभी आप नहीं खेल सकते. एक आध साल अगर आप शांति मेंटेन करके रखोगे, ठीक है यार, फिर भी खेल लेंगे, कहीं ना कहीं खेल लेंगे, no problem. अभी खेलना बनता ही नहीं था. You could not have played this tournament.
Yeah,
everybody's tails are up right now.
The Pakistanis I know were joking, saying that thank you India, they gave us an other issue to talk about than our incompetence of our cricket team, and I cannot fault them for that.
Yeah, listen, we all have to accept that master propagandists. अगर ये नहीं हो रहा तो किसी और इशू पे उठा लेते, वो उन्होंने करना ही करना है. मेरे को उनकी चिंता नहीं है कोई यार. Please understand something, there whatever a manhus operation that they had, they think they won with that. They will not. I mean, I've tweeted this. I want to know what level of ostrich in the sand kind of attitude you have to have, that your bases are inflamed every night, multiple sets of bases.
Yeah.
Right, and you turn around and say, "बस ये गया तो सड़क में गड्ढा है." अबे भूतनी है, सड़क में गड्ढा है मतलब तेरा प्लेन नहीं उठ सकता. समझ रहा बात को, क्या हो रहा है तेरे साथ? And then you're coming and compelling a peace deal. I mean, you compelled that peace deal. How do you deal with all of this 6-0, 6-0, 6-0 और जगह करते रहोगे? वो भी कहीं से verified नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. There are journalists from that side who now are talking about only 6-0. They were always going to do this, Aadit. We all knew this. That is why I'm saying this should have been boycotted. This was always going to be that way. If the Indian government ever had the aspiration that मामला थोड़ा ठंडा करो, थोड़ी देर के लिए ठंडा करो. Of course, your war doctrine is permanently changed. That's fine. Your military is always in place. That's fine. Right. And you build up your strengths. That's great. But you want a little bit of this rhetoric to come down because you don't know how people behave with this kind of agitation.
Correct.
Right? So if you wanted it to come down, ye abhi nahi karna. Right. And in fact, to that end, I will laud the Indian citizenry because of this disinterest. ये बहुत बढ़िया बात है कि हम disinterested थे. Because too many of us are too wise to what was going on. Today, the three of us are sitting here. Kushal, from the moment he begins this podcast, says, "ये पूरा खेल सरकार ने खेला."
Yeah.
But I hate the fact that it's cricketers, basic cricketers who are being manipulated like IT cell idiots. It's very unfair. And honestly, Surya Kumar Yadav as captain, look, I would expect a more senior captain to run. Boss itna nahi karne wala main. Nor am I going to get my players to do it.
Yeah.
Base चीजें कर दूंगा, उसके ऊपर मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा.
I honestly think if Bumrah was the captain or some senior player, it would have probably been a different response or something.
I think Bumrah would have decided, we are going to respond to you in cricketing terms only, and we're going to go hard at you in cricketing terms.
Correct. I just
think sledging hoti, sab hota, hardcore sledging hoti, sab kuch hota, but it would have been a cricketing battle. At the end of the match, it would not have been ये नहीं हाथ नहीं मिलाने, ये नहीं करना, होने का, वो सब ड्रामे नहीं होते.
मुझे तो हाथ नहीं मिलाना भी बहुत silly लगा. If you are playing them, to go and shake hands यार. What's the big deal?
You are forgetting. ये लोग ने हाथ मिलाया था.
बिल्कुल.
Surya Kumar Yadav did shake hands with Mohsin Naqvi and Salman Agha. It is when the government misread the room.
That's right. You're absolutely correct.
No.
And the government saw.
No.
You know what the government thought? That, maybe a Priyanka Chaturvedi is saying it. Maybe a Tehseen Poonawalla is saying it. The government did not realize how much of their own voters were saying it.
Correct.
And they thought they can get away with it. They realize they can't get away with it. They make the players do these antics through Gautam Gambhir. I am telling you, this is what they have done.
I completely. Basically, the only lesson for the government to learn is मैं 2024 के इलेक्शन से भी बोल रहा था पहले कि यूपी में तुम्हारे लौड़े लगने वाले हैं. तो जब मैं कह रहा हूँ कि नहीं करना तो मतलब नहीं करना. I should be there whether way eventually. This is ridiculous. They have got caught. Boss, this is a BJP problem. I'm telling you, this is an end game problem. For the first time, this is Emperor's New Clothes stuff.
No, so
you have been caught with your pants down completely. You did not read the mood of the nation. Your polls or whatever tracking you're doing did not work. And if I were them, I'd suddenly be asking myself, are we getting it right on other issues? Are people less concerned about other issues that, for example, Rahul Gandhi is raising?
This is absolute hubris and greed combination.
Yeah.
The greed of making money. Boss, why are India and Pakistan in the same group?
You know, Kushal, what I find
why are India and Pakistan in the same group?
They're always in the bloody same group for the last 12 years. I was like,
they have been fixing group fixtures for the last 15 to 17 years in cricket.
And no one's asking that question. No, not one person. Why are they in the same? Yaar, IPL mein zyada transparency hai isse. At least IPL mein you are not playing the same two teams every time.
The last time we were not in the same group is the 11 World Cup.
Exactly. That was Imagine we are at a point where we are saying the last transparent ICC grouping was done by Sharad Pawar when he was the ICC president. That is the irony of what we just said.
But just to come back to the government, Kushal, you know, the thing that bothers me about this is you float the idea, we're going to go to the Asia Cup. It was reflexive. The opposition to it was reflexive. It was immediate. It was instantaneous, and it was united in voice. And the tonality of it has not changed. All of us have what we've been saying then, day one, when this was announced, to now has not changed an iota. My father is shocked there. I have zero. He's like, I've not seen you like there's zero interest in a cricket match.
My dad told me the exact same thing. He's like, "तुम देखने वाला है या नहीं देखने वाला? क्या?" He's like, "What happened to you?" That's what he asked me yesterday, right? But Nikhil, I'll make one point, right? That all this is on the side. The hubris was we got away with playing Pakistan on a world tournament after 26/11 or 26/11 after the attacks, right? We did not play them bilaterally. So what would it be different 6 months after Pahalgam? What they did
Because
not
it is
do-
we
here
played
and
them
6 months are two
bilaterally.
different things, Adit.
No, 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 no,
26/11
no.
happened.
Let me complete. No, let me complete. What I'm saying is that is the mindset that goes into BCCI कि हम लोग उसके बाद भी खेले थे तो why
Then they're
not
idiotic. 6 महीने और 3 साल में बहुत अंतर होता है साहब.
I
26/11 के
completely
3 साल के बाद खेले थे आप.
No, I completely agree. I am saying that is the mindset कि we'll get away with it. 3 बार अगर खिलाओ and
Nah, this is wrong. मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ 26/11 के बाद एक इंडियन इलेक्शन भी हुआ है.
हाँ, right.
And the government that we all blame for being too weak in the face of 26/11 was re-elected with a higher number of seats than the one before. Right? Let's be clear. Therefore, there may have been a different kind of mandate at that moment in time. Here, the mood is easy, and you are the ultimate sort of party at assessing कि mood चल क्या रहा है.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
अच्छा mood नहीं चल रहा था भाई.
That's what I'm saying. The focus was not even at the mood. The focus was what Kushal was saying. Look at the finances. Look at whether we can host the Olympics or not. Look at next year World Cup का क्या होगा. Because see, again, India is hosting another World Cup next year.
But Kushal, you have to explain this. You have to explain this. ठीक है तुम्हें Olympics host करना. What is the relationship to this particular Asia Cup?
यार इसके ऊपर I am not trying to defend the government because अगर last
No, I'm not saying you're defending. I'm saying I want to understand what the link is.
यार
Is it that if you are boycotting tournaments, you'll look worse for it?
apparently you talk to the sports minister, he keeps saying कि they have been communicated that if they don't participate, कोई clause नहीं देने को तैयार है sports minister. मैं तेरे को honest answer दे रहा हूँ. कोई clause देने को तैयार नहीं है sports minister, but they have been communicated in no uncertain terms that if they want to host the Olympics in 2036 and before that the Commonwealth, they will have to play and participate in every multilateral tournament. Now my counter to that is, मेरे को एक बात बता निखिल, you know the biggest bullshit argument that this is, इसका reason क्या है? Do all of us accept that now there is something called an ICC World Test Championship that has had 3 editions? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
The requirement, it's a different multilateral tournament where you play for 2 years and then you have a final, right?
Correct.
It's a multilateral tournament. We have clubbed the bilaterals as a multilateral entity, bits and bobs of that. Now, India doesn't play Pakistan in the ICC World Test Championship qualifying rounds or not. We don't play them for 6 years. I will tell you why this we will not play the Olympics argument that they genuinely keep communicating. I am telling you, they are not making it up. They are genuinely communicating it. That I will give to the government. But why this argument is full of shit is, भाई तुम World Test Championship में 3 edition कर चुके हो जिसमें India, Pakistan refused to play each other. Adit is the one man who keeps saying it in our podcast कि बेंचो तुम लोग खेलते ही नहीं हो गांडू और तुम लोग बात करते रहते हो. वहां पे आईसीसी में बॉयकॉट चलेगा.
हाँ.
एशिया कप ये लोगों को खेलना है यार. क्या चुतिया पाए यार.
मैंने तो निखिल बोला है, if you really want to play world tournaments, खेलो ना, test matches खेलो, and you don't have to play in India or Pakistan. Play in London, play in Dubai. Clearly you have no problem playing Asia Cup in Dubai, so why are you not playing? I personally feel if Virat Kohli and that magical MCG knock was there, why were we deprived of Virat Kohli not facing off against Shaheen Shah Afridi in test matches? Why are you showing that? वो भी तो ICC tournament ही है. Just because test matches in their mind is not revenue getters, people are not going to watch. Like if you have seen any Pakistan matches, test matches in Dubai, the crowds, right? Matlab, I think there are more crowds in local Rotary Club celebration than you see in a Pakistan test match in Dubai. They think कोई आएगा नहीं, कोई देखेगा नहीं.
Adit, I think Pakistan India की viewership is going to suffer a long-term loss, in my honest opinion.
No, this is what I'm trying to say. This poll shows to you like the interest is gone. This is in this generation, even for people like us who are raised on a hardcore diet of a sort of testosterone-filled India versus Pakistan rivalry. I want to watch India, Australia, India, England more than I want to watch this.
No,
Yeah.
and ultimately, I'll tell you something else.
That's not just a question of the gap between the teams. Yes, of course, that matters. I mean, if Wasim and Waqar were around today, I'd want to watch how our batsmen face Wasim and Waqar. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that we've had enough of this bullshit.
Correct.
Right? This is, at some point in time, the whole rivalry felt novel. The whole problem felt novel, felt new. It's not. It's a repetitive cycle. We've all seen it all the time. It just keeps happening. And any attempt to play with them is essentially playing into their hands. So to me, this makes no difference anymore now.
Yeah. Why are you See, if the government would have said, Asia Cup mein hum nahi khelenge, but we have to play them in the World Cup, and usme make sure that they are not in the group stage together. Okay? I think 99% of the country, other than the 1% hardcore ideologues ki kam what mein humko nahi khelna chahiye, would have been with the government. I think the government would have had support कि अगर ये baseline होता था. But यार, what is this nonsense? Fucking BCCI does not even take the money of the Asia Cup. They give it to the non-associate members.
हाँ.
जो full time members 5 हैं, ठीक है, एशिया कप के. जो बाकी के जो होते हैं ना, उनको BCCI अपना सारा पैसा दे देता है. तो ये हम किसको चूतिया बना रहे हैं यार?
I'll tell you the reality of it is, and people don't want to admit it, the BCCI's position in ICC is compromised because there are members turning against the BCCI. So they need every vote they can get to get some stuff passed. This is their way of distributing and spreading the wealth so they can quote unquote buy the votes. Varna agar Australia or England ghoom gaye and they voted a certain way for the ICC, BCCI would be in trouble. Cricket is still an international sport. Yes, IPL makes money, but IPL is only 2 months out of 12. The other 10 months, cricket is an international sport. Till IPL or a regional tournament is 6 months of a year, an international tournament is 6 months of the year, the power balance will be with the ICC. And that is what they fear, right? Now, of course, one could argue, who the hell is the chairman of the ICC? Why isn't he making the decision? But the thing is, I think we lack, BCCI is the big bully financially, but we lack the gumption to be the bully sort of on moral issues and stuff.
यार, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता former players के. यार, they are working in tandem with Pakistanis in Dubai and in America and in Canada. I'm not going to take the names of
yeah, of course.
देखो, लगता है आपको मालूम नहीं है कौन सा प्लेयर किधर इन्वॉल्व है. यार, they are in a different world. वो पाकिस्तान और इंडिया इतना एनमेस्ड है इस स्पोर्ट में.
अरे भाई, अजय देवगन की वो कौन सी टूर्नामेंट थी, इंडिया मास्टर्स और इंडिया लेजेंड्स. You are not playing with the current Pakistani players, and I don't know, Nikhil, you've seen there are 3 tournaments happening: India Legends, India Road Warriors, India Classic Legends, pata nahi teams,
India Lada Lasun team.
Whatever. All tournaments have uncles between 40 and 55, and yes, that includes people our age, because now we are all uncles officially. That's why they are all ex-Pakistani international cricketers. Ek mein to Ajay Devgan was the co-sponsor and stuff, and then India made this whole theater of like, oh, hum log nahi khelenge. But when you bloody signed the paper, India and Pakistan conflict was always happening in May. So तुमको कब एकदम realize हुआ कि हाँ मुझे नहीं खेलना, when 5 people tweeted at you? Otherwise you had no problem signing.
इसीलिए तो मैंने आज शेड कार्ड का कॉन्सेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. तो फिट कर ले कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी स्पेक्ट्रम.
अरे वो दिलजीत दोसांझ को क्यों गाली दे रहे थे बहनचोद? क्यों गाली दे रहे थे?
इसीलिए उसने वो बंदा ना बहुत शार्प है. He gave a superb answer in one of his concerts and nailed the government on it, and I, in full approval, I retweeted that saying he's got it 100% right and the BJP's got it 100% wrong.
हाँ भाई,
यार ये फोकी पेट्रियोटिज्म मां चुदाने गई यार. ये लोगों की फोकी पेट्रियोटिज्म, या तो करो या तो ना करो. अच्छा, आज भी पाकिस्तान के YouTube पर बैन है.
Problematic, Kushal.
अरे भाई, दिलजीत का तो इतना प्रॉब्लम हुआ.
Let's be crystal clear about this. The point to Operation Sindoor was you changed a doctrine in Operation Sindoor. You've changed your war doctrine. You've changed your approach to Pakistan. That is the purpose of Operation Sindoor. Therefore, in the face of Operation Sindoor, to play Asia Cup 6 months later is just अपने मुंह पे थप्पड़ मारने की बात है यार. 4 महीने बाद भाई, 4 महीने बाद खेल रहे.
पाकिस्तान तो है ही बेशरम. वो तो मतलब ऐसा है, वो एक ऐसी मतलब भोसड़ी वाली कौम है कि भैंचोद वो मतलब यार वो तो हम तो नंगे हैं, वो तो भैंचोद है ही नंगे, नंगे से क्या तुम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो?
नहीं और पाकिस्तान बहुत अच्छा है, इट इज वेरी गुड, मतलब द बेस्ट एवर. व्हाई दैट
लौड़ा मेरा अच्छा है.
No, I'm saying sarcastically. I'm saying जो भी है Pakistan, why India's response should not be what Pakistan is or the government is. Like right now, no one is asking questions in Pakistan about where the fuck is Imran Khan. Like their ex-prime minister is in jail. Like I don't watch Mehdi Hassan, but he was questioning the Pakistani defense minister. He's like, आपने ऐसा एलिगेशन दिया कि इमरान खान की ट्विटर अकाउंट इंडिया से कंट्रोल हो रहा है या इमरान खान कहीं और है. Literally, that is the kind of joke show that is happening. And so we are not even comparing, we are comparing our own stupidity, that why are we participating in a race to bottom. Be principled.
No. Let me explain this differently. For the longest time, our doctrine used to be, if your behavior changes, our approach is different to you. Then we are all on board with you and we can be one people, blah 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 blah, right? And now what was that behavior change? Stop promoting terrorism. We've gone a step further now. Now we've decided our approach to you is entirely unilateral. That's the point to Operation Sindhu. We will hit you when we want. We will hit you how we want. We will deem a terror attack. We will deem it came from you. We are not providing proof. We are not doing any of that. We changed the approach.
Mm-hmm.
And that had to then transfer into other spheres as well.
Correct.
You're back to doing what you were doing.
No,
and the justificatory statement that came, international tournament, there's a ACC kuch bhi nahi hai yaar.
But I have another question, guys. If cricketers are being okay कि हाँ पाकिस्तान को, why is film industry then being targeted? ना वो कोई एक बेचारा पाकिस्तानी एक्टर के साथ दो साल पहले का कोई मूवी होगा या कोई कौन सा, वो टूट पड़ेंगे उस पे.
वही तो दिलजीत दोसांझ ने पॉइंट दिया है यार. That's the
genius suggestion was by the Caribbean Cricket Podcast guy. Remove both the teams from world cricket. देखो, with due respect, I mean, the guy is, everybody is exasperated with this India-Pakistan drama. But I don't mind India being boycotted in world cricket because Indian cricket will still survive. Maybe world cricket will collapse.
नहीं करने दो ना, फिर इंडिया will play IPL 6 months a year and all West Indians
सारे West Indian players सारे हमारे इसमें आ जाएंगे. फिर Caribbean Cricket Podcast will only cover IPL.
Exactly. Well, this is a ninja level thought from Caribbean crickets. They want a full 6-time gig with the IPL. So it's like India Pakistan को बंद कर दो, सारा West Indies इधर आ जाएगा.
ये भी एक शेड कार्ड में डाल देना, निंजा लेवल चूतिया. ये बाय द वे अपने वाले हैं सबसे पहले.
हाँ.
और नहीं मगर वेस्ट इंडीज अभी रिसेंटली नेपाल से आ रही थी ना पैंचो.
रिसेंटली क्या 1.5 दिन पहले.
वो भोसड़ी वाले अपनी टीम को संभाल ले. नेपाल से हार रहे हैं.
T20 match by 19 runs is quite a bit, bro. Like 19 is a big gap in a T20 match.
नहीं, and the real problem is, and I keep saying this, और मैंने कुशल को ये बहुत बार बोला है, देखो, like I kept telling him, right, NFL season अभी चालू है. That is a primarily American sport, and now they're expanding it. कि यूरोप में खेल रहे हैं 3 games. They play a couple of games in Brazil. So South America, यूरोप में कर रहे हैं. But there is no qualms in their mind कि our biggest market is America. So it's an American sport which we are taking it to the world. India needs to bloody own up to cricket, that now cricket is an Indian sport which other countries in the world also play, and it's great, right? लेकिन हमारे लोग क्या थे, अगर कोई किसी ऑस्ट्रेलियन ने तारीफ कर दी, बिग फैन फ्रॉम इंडिया सर, अगस्त 2025 स्टिल वाचिंग योर प्रेज ऑफ 2021. अरे यार, it's our freaking sport, man.
That's a mentality problem, yeah, but you can't treat cricket like that. Cricket is an international sport.
It is, but I'm saying IPL is not. So I'm saying कि you forget ना, why are we wanting their approval for IPL? 3 महीने भूल जाओ ना, आपकी इंटरनेशनल स्पोर्ट है. I'm saying own up to our league, that our league is the biggest league in the world. You don't need international approval. You don't need Australian and English commentators to come and.
No, I think you're underestimating what may. I'm sure TV revenues will come down. Perhaps cricket will be poorer for it, but I think you're underestimating what would happen if the world is turning around and saying India is behaving badly. You don't want that scenario. All right, this is one of the embarrassing things.
I don't think India is behaving badly
for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The world has been saying India is behaving badly for the last 10 years, and then the same world sends one extra player to the IPL.
Yeah, exactly.
The behaving badly is one thing when the complaint is that you're not sharing revenue properly. It's completely different when you start saying that we are going to compel tournaments to not occur. Right now, IPL's found a sweet spot. It's found a home. It's found a time. It's fine. Leave it.
No, even ठीक ही है. I'm just saying we don't know how to wield the power because
Boss,
death.
I completely disagree with this. There is, there is no rule that cricket as a sport will not survive if India goes at it alone. Cricket as a sport will go on and on and on. If India goes at it alone,
Yeah, but then you get
there will be
ousted
more
from
revenue.
it saying, you get ousted from it saying that, look, you've not been cooperative, you've not been behaving the way you would require in a multilateral setup. I don't want that for India. Yeah, I really don't. Look, let's just be clear. Let's keep this simple instead of going into hyperbolic issues here. You could have boycotted. You chose not to boycott. If you choose not to boycott, you are fully aware that any cricket tournament comes with all of these accoutrements. Like you have to shake hands, you have to pose for photographs, you have to take the trophy from whomever. This shit will happen. It's inevitable.
Surya Kumar Yadav was shaking hands.
Either before the tournament, you have contracted out of these requirements, or you do these requirements.
Correct.
Don't present yourself like IT sellers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, I completely I'm going to say it again. Him running away with the trophy is really, this is straight out of Hera Pheri or something. It's so funny.
मैं नहीं दूंगा.
मैं नहीं दे रहा, मैं लेके जा रहा हूं. Right? But for our behavior has also not been exemplary. We have to accept this.
But our behavior was schoolboyish and his was like मैं stump.
अरे यार वो बेचारा साइमन डूल वो बोल रहा है मेरे को 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा खड़ा कर दिया यार तुम लोगों ने भैंचोद.
That's so funny, man. I cannot believe वो stump और बैट लेके भागने वाली वो जो बात थी ना in childhood वो actually good stump और बैट.
यार only a Pakistani can outdo an Indian in भोसड़पंती behavior. Only a Pakistani can out. मैं बोलता हूँ वो मोहसिन नकवी अगर हट जाता था ना, Pakistan would have been the winner in the world stage in the eyes of the neutral observer. वो भैंचो उसने बोला ना मैं तो ट्रॉफी नहीं देनी ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ, मैं ट्रॉफी लेके नट रहा. भैंचो क्या आदमी है यार मोहसिन नकवी, क्या आदमी.
That was his moment of statesmanship.
No, actually it would have been.
रवि शास्त्री फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया था. किसने मेरे को बोला? रवि शास्त्री फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया था. मैंने ट्विटर पे सुना, एक क्लिप देखा मैंने बाद में आज सुबह, मतलब मेरी सुबह तुम लोगों की रात. तो रवि शास्त्री बोलता व्हाट द हेल इज दिस, मेरे को इधर बिठा के रखा है, मेरे को जाके दारू मार रही है मुंबई.
No, he was correct. He's like, what are the fans doing in the stadium? 45 minutes हो चुके हैं, तुम्हारी कोई सेरेमनी नहीं हो रही, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, क्या मतलब है सबका? He's absolutely correct.
Yeah, they made a joke out of this, yeah. And by the way, you cannot blame the PCB for this. The entire blame has to go
This is BCCI.
on the government of India.
I'm 100% clear on this, and I think there's unanimity on our side. ये कालक हमने पोथी है.
Yes.
And the morons who are seeking bravado कि हमने ये great ninja technique. No, we looked like fucking idiots. We looked like we had no idea what we were doing. Okay, I would have had a lot of respect for Surya Kumar Yadav if you had taken the trophy, then gone to Ravi Shastri and then made a statement on the bloody stage saying, you know what, I am donating my match fees to this and this. I don't expect, I'm not a fan of this. But it's a game, we have to play it, and then made a statement there. Why do these drama? Like, you have a mic, make a statement in the presentation. Na? They would have forced to cover you.
Because छोटी सोच को एक virtue बना दिया गया है in the course of this event. So then you snowball, right?
Yeah.
एक छोटी सोच, फिर दूसरी छोटी सोच, फिर तीसरी छोटी सोच.
Yeah.
And that's been made into a thing of value in this event, and it's pathetic to watch.
Yeah. So
listen, whatever the hell it is, if you play as an Indian, I don't expect this behavior.
The reason why Bumrah's gesture was actually fun, good banter, because he took a bloody wicket, and that's when he chose to make a point.
No, it's also because it's a reply.
Exactly. But Nikhil,
he didn't choose a military gesture. You chose a military gesture, and now he's responding to you. And also because it's a pun. It's a pun because it's matching the trajectory of the ball. The ball dips on him with the Yorker.
Exactly.
Right?
So it was witty, right? Which is why, like what we agree with, if Bumrah was the captain, I think the response would have been totally different or something.
It would have been hell. It would have been fire and brimstone in a cricketing sense.
And I don't blame Surya. I just think he's inexperienced. So
no. What inexperienced? 36-year-old guy who played 10 years of cricket. The hell with this?
In captaincy, I'm saying वो captain बना ही नहीं है ना कभी.
No, I'm sorry. This is a lack of character. He allowed himself to be manipulated in this manner. That's the truth. He allowed himself to be manipulated.
Yeah. बट यार आई डोंट ब्लेम हिम यार, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स देख कभी ये लोगों के नहीं है यार, ये अनफेयर है यार। मैं तो बोलता हूँ एज
भाई
समवन
फिर एक कम्युनिकेशन स्टैंडर्ड होना चाहिए ना यार। द कैप्टन हैज टू कम बैक टू द बीसीसीआई एंड से देख यार, eventually we have to do this. Do you want your cricketers being presented in this light?
खत्म के आगे तेरे को बोलने
I
को देगा कोई
really
नहीं।
want to know from the, like, okay, Kushal, you know people in the BCCI, you understand this kind of. Tell me something. Are they happy with this outcome of how our cricketers have been presented overall in this tournament? Are they
No.
happy with this?
No, are a lot of by the way, for the record, see, it's always been the case that some players wanted to boycott this voluntarily. Huh? I'm being very serious. They did not want to play Pakistan. See, players are also human beings. People forget that even in Ganguly's team, I'm saying this with full responsibility, there were many players who did not want to play Pakistan. It's from then till now. See, the ones who are fine playing with Pakistan doesn't mean they are unpatriotic. I don't want to send that message.
No, you can express your patriotism in a different way.
Yeah,
We'll play them, we'll
different way.
beat the fuck out of them, man.
Yeah, and you know, there are different people who share their emotions in a different way. But I was so like, यार ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स इतने टटा दबाने वाले होते हैं ना यार एक आदमी की करियर की माँ बहन एक हो जाएगी। निखिल, तू बोल रहा है, मैं तेरे से नहीं एग्री करता हूँ इसमें। यार इतना मुश्किल होता है ना ये लोगों की जिंदगी, इतना मुश्किल होती है।
All right, I accept.
I think you're being unfair on the player thing. उसके तू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़, उसकी गांड लग जाएगी।
Bhai, you can still have an open communication with the board and tell them, look how we will appear. I can foresee this. I can see this. Why aren't you seeing this? Why aren't your media managers? Why aren't? Then the alternative answer is BCCI wanted it to get this ugly, this petty, this tiny, this ugly, and use this as some kind of jingoism. It's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic.
It is quite evident BCCI wanted this to that ugly. That is why you have cameras placed at certain locations. Like what I was telling you, man. मतलब जिंदगी में इतने सारे नवरात्रि functions. I have not seen match being shown on the screen and then the orchestra playing and people doing garba and stuff. And suddenly all news channels are there. क्या बकवास है यार? This is stage managed. कि हम लोग 5 जगह कैमरा रख. Kushal, I saw
T20 or Asia Cup and that. Asia Cup, I think बड़े होते हुए आज तक Asia Cup की चिंता नहीं करी है.
Kushal, you plugged that picture from Mumbai, right? There was the residents had done a video screening or something, right? You know the video that I'm talking about. You think that camera happens in case this was not pre-planned? You think the residents can just call up news channels and be like,
बहुत लोगों ने मैच देखी है, देख मैं तेरे को झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, बहुत
हाँ भाई, no, but I'm saying camera जहाँ लगा है, that was a complete setup. Like it was stage managed by BCCI. I have no doubt in my mind. And quite frankly, what Kushal said, and we don't want to again get into name calling and stuff. There are a lot of
मैंने नाम लेना ही नहीं है यार, मैंने नाम लेना नहीं है यार, वो फिर बात ही नहीं करते बाद में.
There are a lot of ex-cricketers and stuff who have ties, ex-politicians who have ties and stuff with in Dubai, in America, in UK and stuff like that. वो सब बाहर आना है तो भी रहने दो अब.
नहीं यार, और जो प्लेयर्स नहीं खेलना चाहते पाकिस्तान को, उनके भी मैं नाम क्यों लूं यार? उनकी क्या गलती है, मेरे को बताओ ना.
नहीं है.
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ो, कभी ऐसे दबा के रखा है उनको, गुलाम बना के रखा हुआ उनको.
I don't.
आर्ग्यू करना ना प्लेयर के लिए. They only get 18% of the total revenue.
Keep doing that.
Huh?
By the way, One Punch Man is what Abhijit was saying earlier. Is a superhero manga comic from Japan where a guy gets so developed in his skills that he can knock people out, finish people off in one punch.
पता नहीं यार, अभिजीत के भी क्या क्या शौक है, पैंचो पता नहीं क्या देखता रहता है.
चल कुशल क्वेश्चंस लेते हैं थोड़े सुपर चैट के.
अरे मगर स्क्वाड को डिस्कस करें पैंचो, वेस्ट इंडीज का फर्स्ट टेस्ट का.
मुझे थोड़ी देर में जाना है इसलिए. यस,
स्क्वाड तो देखो वेस्ट इंडीज का. तो गिल, जायसवाल, राहुल, साई सुदर्शन, ये पडिक्कल आ गया. पडिक्कल इंस्टेड ऑफ करुण नायर. मैं बोला यार कमाल है.
They're investing in him, yeah. They're investing in him big time.
I think Padikkal.
बाकी तो ठीक है, स्क्वाड तो ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसमें.
करना क्या, एक ही इनिंग्स तो बैटिंग करनी है. कुलदीप यादव और स्पिनर्स निपटा देंगे उनको 2 इनिंग्स में. तो फिर क्या स्क्वाड देख के चक मारते हैं यार. I'm just saying. The debate is innings and 42 runs or innings and 132 runs. That is the debate.
अरे वो सरफराज ने इतना साला मेहनत की, इतना वजन कम किया, उसने क्या उखाड़ा लाइफ में?
No, one interesting name I saw was N. Jagdishan. So that is a unique. I did not expect him. Wapis wo squad ki screen kar. I did not expect him to get a call up. I thought maybe Sarfraz would get a call up because and Pant is still not fit. So again, Dhruv Jurel is going to be the keeper. So that was the most interesting part of the squad for me.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree that at least now we will get to see Kuldeep Yadav play Test cricket.
Oh my God! Yes, finally.
पूरी टेस्ट सीरीज उसको नहीं खिलाया यार.
ये पता नहीं इंग्लैंड में क्या है. But and this is not just this time. Ashwin did not play a single test match the last time we played in England. So somehow they just don't like spinners and they want Jaddu to bowl. Jaddu has reached that level that he can just play as a batsman. Who can
one point of warning I'll give. This West Indian pace lineup has some teeth to it.
No, Shamar Joseph नहीं आ रहा है भाई. और सरफराज injured है.
Shamar Joseph may not be coming, but you've got Jaden Seals, you've got a couple of others. They have some teeth to them.
Yeah.
They're starting to make some kind of comeback.
But I hope they don't make again a Bunsen burner. I hope the folks at the Narendra Modi Stadium make a competitive pitch.
That is the main point. Don't make a shit pitch.
Yeah. So we'll see. Usually the Ahmedabad wicket, except for that idiotic night game that we played against England, usually the pitch
both wickets in that series were terrible, bro.
Yeah, both sari series. But I'm saying usually the pitch is not that bad. But somehow that India-England, after we lost the first game in Chennai, inka sar phat gaya.
It's an Ahmedabad pitch. It's naturally a little sticky. We saw that in the World Cup final as well, 23. Yeah. It's naturally a little sticky, which is fine. That's something a batsman has to.
By the way,
you can't say that on every pitch I want free scoring. Yeah.
I saw the stat. Other than that one match in the 23 World Cup final, in all multilateral tournaments, basically हम लोग last कुछ 30 odd matches में सिर्फ एक ही वो भयंकर लड़ा मैच आ रहे हैं. और मैं तेरे को सच्ची बोलूं, वो एक ही मैच है जो मेरे को दर्द देता है. बाकी ये सारी विन्स है ना, मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे. वो भयंकर क्यों हारे?
Obvious.
No, because we got outthought and outplanned.
We didn't get outthought. We shat the bed.
We lost.
What we did. But we shat the bed. We changed the pitch format. We changed everything to think we're suiting ourselves. They looked at the pitch. They won the toss. They understood it better than us. You're right. Yeah. Therefore, that bit of outthought, and then they killed you. They killed you.
Yeah, getting Shreyas Iyer out the way Pat Cummins did, everything. I mean, it was planning at a ninja level by the Aussies.
No, but they executed as well. Execution was an incredible level of execution. Look, that spell by Cummins in that final is one of the great ODI spells.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and this is what a controversial question. Should Rohit and Virat play in the 2027 World Cup? Virat, I think, will.
Let Kushal answer this first. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Should Rohit or Virat play the 2027 ODI World Cup?
I think Virat should. Rohit, I'm on the fence about because Virat has the.
तेरे को honest answer दूं, Rohit is slightly elder to Virat. I think कुछ 6-8 महीने बड़ा है रोहित विराट से.
अरे भाई पर फिटनेस में वो 1-1.5 साल बड़ा है विराट से. विराट is a lot fitter than Rohit.
अगर रोहित फिट रहा तो रोहित को भी खेलना चाहिए. विराट तो 100% खेलना चाहिए भाई. I don't understand. Listen, that man is literally the greatest 50-over batsman ever.
Agreed. Completely agree.
India has to be next level retarded to not play Virat Kohli in 50-over crickets. और मर जाओ तुम सब के सब. पागल लोग ये लोग.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% Virat should play 50-over cricket. जब तक खेलना चाहता है उसको खेलने दो. Problem है भाई. I understand.
Rohit खेलेगा. Rohit is keeping one of the best opening partnerships potentially in Shubman Gill and Jaiswal or Abhishek Sharma, Jaiswal Gill, like that combo out of the thing. So someone has to have a conversation with Rohit Sharma and say, I'm sorry, buddy. That's it. We have to prepare for the next World Cup. And I don't see Rohit Sharma playing the 2027 World Cup. Need, Virat, yes, but Rohit cannot.
Yeah, and the reasoning for this for me is opening slot is perfectly secure. Middle order looks a little light at times. Virat is needed in the middle order.
He's a master of chases. And in South Africa, where Virat has a very good record, you need you need someone experienced. I mean, when was the last ODI series you saw the new Indian team play in South Africa or the last ODIs? I personally don't remember where all
अभी
of
यार
them played.
हमारी वनडे सीरीज आ रही है ना, एक अभी अपकमिंग है ना
ये
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
वही
के
तो
अगेंस्ट.
हाँ, ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट है अभी.
तो अभी सब अभी यार सारे जवाब मिल जाने हैं. रोहित कैसे खेल रहा है, क्या खेल रहा है, सब पता चल जाएगा.
But Rohit has definitely been on Ozempic, man.
Rohit, you think so?
Yeah, he's lost. तोंद कम हो गई है यार.
Well, that doesn't, I mean, fitness का पता नहीं. देख अभी वो देखते.
नहीं, वो जो शर्ट से टेंट निकलता था ना, वो तो कम हो गया कम से कम. अब वो उसका क्या इफेक्ट आता है वो मुझे नहीं पता.
We'll see.
Let's see. Listen, I am a giant Rohit Sharma fan, but you can't compare Rohit and Virat.
No, I'm not. In BCCI,
you perhaps can. In ODIs, you perhaps can to a degree, bro.
No. Yeah.
No. In ODIs,
Sorry,
you can.
disagree.
Rohit is a killer in ODIs.
Virat is the greatest 50 over batsman. Sorry, don't agree.
Virat ki ODI comparison is with Sachin Tendulkar, and in run chases, I dare say peak Virat sometimes gets a little further ahead of Sachin. And
No, not just Sachin. Anybody as a
no,
chaser, Virat is incomparable.
I'm just comparing India players. I'm comparing
incomparable hai yaar. Kohli as a chaser is incomparable. But please believe me,
peak
nobody
Sachin
has the hitting power of Rohit Sharma. Nobody has had the hitting power or consistent hitting power.
That's different. I mean,
yeah, that 1-6 Rohit Sharma hit in the T20 World Cup to Mitchell Stark, वो तेरे को याद हो उसमें तो करके वो ग्राउंड के बाहर वो मारा था, वो डिप्रेसिंग था बॉलर के लिए.
That innings in the T20 World Cup against Australia is the kind of innings only he plays.
Yeah, but see, dekho, we used to say that about Sehwag also, right? When Sehwag is on song, he looks like, my God, what a player.
No. Sharma has a greater ODI ability than Sehwag and everyone. Sharma is a genuine
One
ODI
question before we start taking do you think this current lot of Indian players, like honestly between you and I, like the way Abhishek Sharma hits and the way him and Gill were insulting Shaheen Shah Afridi, they literally said Bhosdi ka jaake ball dal. Anybody could lip read what he said.
Yeah.
Like ये जो कूट के insult करने वाला ये जो style है, this is very American. This is not Indian.
No. There's a difference now, Kushal. अब पंजाबी आ गए हैं टीम में. It's very simple. Our khundak, people don't get it. Our khundak towards Pakistan is another level of khundak. And this is the only way in which we express ourselves.
अरे यार उसकी मैंने again
Virat was the same. Virat साहब को पंजाबी में भी है, Delhi पंजाबी, but he was the same. उसका भी मुंह से ऐसे ही निकलता था, हमारा भी ऐसे ही निकलता है. पंजाबीज are like this. ये दोनों अमृतसर के लौंडे हैं. There's no question about.
अरे वो लड़के का मैंने आज सुबह क्योंकि पॉडकास्ट के लिए तैयारी करनी थी तो क्लिप देखी एक और, वो बहनचोद तो पोस्ट मैच सेरेमनी में बोल रहा था प्रीमियम फास्ट बॉलर. यार बड़ा हरामी है.
नहीं, but
they're up for it.
It is also a lot more in your face, like especially, and I know that because I've seen growing up in Gujarat wahi sort of thing. If you remember Kiran More and Javed Miadad, right? Where is Kiran More from Baroda? He needled him to the point where Javed started jumping like a monkey on the field, right? So ye hota hai. And Ajay Jadeja and Waqar Yunis, where he was giving it back, and so it is a cultural difference or something. The Anil Kumble, Javagal Srinath school of thing was more of a nicer, not, Galido, but against Pakistan, even Venkatesh Prasad lost his school. So I think it is the intensity, but also, yeah, they are kids. Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill are not as old. Abhishek Sharma, bacha hai yaar. So, that attitude is there. He wears his heart on the sleeve. And this is not the American culture, but this is the franchise cricket culture. That my team is that. I'm going to be in your face while we're playing the team. I mean, if you see in NFL, there is actually an official penalty they have for taunting. Because if you go too far abroad or, do a personal foul or say something that shouldn't be, the referee will blow it and, sometimes eject you from the game. So it's just a franchise sport that has got in. But
to me, this is Punjabi at the play. Punjabis are going to react in this way only. This is the way
they're
going to talk.
Thoda naturally.
कोई objection नहीं. Yaar, I'm willing to put up with this. It's the rest of the drama that I didn't like. This is great. I love this.
And I would love if Pakistanis give it back to it. ठीक है यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Let it be on the field.
No problem at all.
It is fun.
Yeah. चलो अभी comments and then wrap up. Ad bid prices for finals dropped significantly. They had to run long form ads rather than 5 to 15 second ones, which cut into the first ball of the over. मैंने तो देखा नहीं यार, so I can't comment on this.
No, I read
No,
this
but
on
good,
Twitter.
good observation. It's a very good observation on pricing.
Yeah, and because our broadcasters are also chutias who don't know how to run a broadcast, so we have like हर एक चीज में ad घुसेड़ दो, वो screen ऊपर हो जाता है और नीचे. I mean, do you watch the FIFA World Cup? Do you ever see the screen and below it'll be like Kamla Pasand Pan Masala, सबकी पसंद एक. Like that is how we treat the Cricket World Cup broadcast. Like imagine if a quarter final of FIFA World Cup is going on और screen एकदम ऊपर हो जाएगा और नीचे आएगा ऊंचे लोग ऊंची पसंद माणिक चंद. How would it look? Right, so unfortunately our broadcasting is also horrendous. Like we need to really come up with a better way of how we broadcast.
The most disappointing was the Prime Minister's tweet. What do you guys make of the PM's tweet? I didn't like it.
Not a fan of it. I think it was more of a reaction. Dalna, why even react? Yeah, I honestly don't know why was the Prime Minister.
I don't think the Prime Minister
because some in the middle of the tournament this was planned.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not an unplanned tweet, and that's the disappointing bit. That's why I'm saying the emperor's new clothes problem.
Yeah.
You have misread this to such a degree that you thought this tweet is a good idea.
Quite frankly, the Prime Minister is above the Asia Cup or something. He should not even be reacting to anything below World Cup, in my opinion. He is the Prime Minister of the country, man. You, अगर मजाक में कर दिया तो ठीक है, but
नहीं यार आपने हर लेवल पे डिग्निटी खत्म करी है. ये बहुत ही डिसअपॉइंटिंग था.
Yeah.
आपने हर लेवल पे डिग्निटी खत्म करी है.
I agree. I didn't like it.
And the way people
Why can't the BCCI boycott Pakistan in ICC events, or is it because of money? Remember, England, New Zealand boycotted Zimbabwe in ICC Cricket World Cup 2003 to protest against Mugabe's regime. See, there are 2-3 aspects to it. What is the format? Let's say it is a format like the 1992 World Cup where everybody plays each other, and then you have like 10 goes, right? Or 8 matches, 9 matches. Then maybe you can afford to, boycott a game or two because the other matches are going to be played.
The 23 World Cup was the same format that you're talking about.
No, and okay, so one thing I have to say, quite frankly, England boycotted Zimbabwe, New Zealand boycotted Kenya, and because of that boycott, Kenya actually was awarded the match, and it was easier for Kenya to qualify for the semi-finals.
Yeah, you have to give up the points.
You have to give up the points. That is one thing. Second, in 1996, Australia and West Indies boycotted the matches in Sri Lanka, which is why Sri Lanka got a very favorable draw and was easier for them to win the 1996 World Cup. To show that Sri Lanka was a safe place, India-Pakistan fielded a joint 11 and they played an exhibition match against Sri Lanka where Indo-Pak joint 11 played against Sri Lanka. And to show that LTT का कोई problem नहीं है, so forth. वो जमाना अलग था, ये जमाना और है, but so that is what I'm saying. So it has happened before, but you have to give up the points. So is India ready to give up the points? Who knows?
Yeah. So next one is, what do you make the PM tweet comparing Sindoor with cricket matches? Are we not being disrespectful to the armed forces? I don't know about disrespect to the armed forces. I think okay. You can go and ask the armed forces which political outfit they are comfortable with.
No, it's not that. I think whenever
you can go and talk to former intelligence officers who now speak publicly off the record, which political outfit they're comfortable with in their work. But let's not go ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same government that gave the armed forces the complete freedom ki jao thoko jo karna hai karo.
No, Kushal, actually, I'm going to go one step further. If you asked PM Modi the same question in a rally or an interview or something, he would be far more articulate and he would not even say what the tweet was, right? But you have to understand, this is not Mr. Modi personally tweeting. There is a team that runs the tweets that probably thought from the PMO that this was a good idea to tweet. I think that the tragedy of Twitter is in 280 characters, you are always going to disappoint someone. Ideally, I would have liked for PM, if he were to say something, to make a statement about this in the rally and give a right context of what he meant. But
the biggest bullshit sold that the army doesn't care which party is there. No. This is the biggest bullshit sold ever. There might be armed forces people who oppose the BJP, but don't tell me the army doesn't know which party gives them a fair hand.
Yeah,
just also, don't even go there.
Five generals and 5 ex-reporters, 5 ex-generals and 5 ex-reporters on Twitter don't represent the army. They were a part of the army. there are millions of other soldiers which have diametrically, and they do have their opinion and they do like, do support Mr. Modi. But again, they're getting far. Our point was limited to there should not have even been a tweet. If Mr. Modi was to say something, you should have probably made a statement like in an interview. Do you guys agree? That probably should have been the better way than a tweet.
There is no need for any statement from him, and certainly not a statement of this nature.
Agreed. Yeah.
No, this is all political. It was purely political. They misread it, or perhaps we are misreading it, and they are the wisest ones. But in my opinion, it's just not gone down well. The whole thing hasn't gone down well.
Agreed.
Yeah. ये तो आदमी ने सिर्फ पी के एमके भी बोल दिया, ठीक है भाई, तुम्हारी मर्जी, जो करना करो. Sony has earned more than enough money due to 3 India versus Pakistan matches. Tight slap on those who supported the boycott. India versus Pakistan will never be boycotted. True cricket fan will always support this rivalry.
Believe it or not,
you should actually go and talk to people who work in Sony if you have access to them.
But Kushal, I actually support this stance if you're a true cricket fan and you support this rivalry, because then you believe mentally that the cricket must go on whatever the consequences. That is a consistent position. Similarly, we should have a consistent position कि ICC में खेलना है तो टेस्ट मैच में भी खेलते हैं, वनडे में भी खेलते हैं, या नहीं खेलना है तो we are not going to say unless there is a cool down happening. Problem is the other side, or the BCCI is not being consistent. Cricket fans are consistent. You must play come what may.
It starts from Fahim Ashraf post, not from our side. Somebody says. We didn't start it. Fahim Ashraf did.
Bhai, we went and shook Mohsin Naqvi's hand before the tournament.
We shook it after Fahim Ashraf's post, na?
Haan.
Then?
So, kya hai yaar? We need to stop coping.
Future broadcast rights value would have been seriously impacted had India boycotted this. India requires support at ICC from the smaller Asian boards. Aren't these reasons enough to play?
No. One, it would not have boycotted, and if it would have impacted, that was I don't think it would have impacted, because you think IPL broadcast cares about what India-Pakistan happens internationally or
Nothing.
not? No. And second, I made that point. I actually think that is the reason why they are pandering, that they want the votes of smaller boards to pass certain reforms at ICC in their favor. That's what I think. I don't know. Nikhil, I don't know if you disagree.
This is now becoming a... I don't know what we're up to on this. Honestly, like, this was most unnecessary, the whole thing.
After this Asia Cup, I really understand why India is so backward in narrative making compared to what Israel is.
I don't think that was post Asia Cup. That unfortunately media management, like Kushal and I have shouted from the rooftops, we need a press advisor in the Indian government, regardless of who is in power. We need a press secretary.
I'll give you an answer. So I'm not going to tell you the ministry, but I once sat down 3 years ago and asked somebody inside the government, what is the government of India's strategy vis-a-vis Canada? What was the answer? Wild guess, please. Wild guess.
Nothing. I mean, I don't.
Nothing nahi tha answer. Answer diya.
Can you ask the question again?
I asked someone, I'm not going to declare the ministry, what is India's strategy vis-a-vis Canada?
आप बताइए.
The answer was
send them more Khalistanis.
The answer was they are America's neighbor.
Oh my God.
They are America's neighbor.
Hey, भगवान.
I don't know वो कनाडा की इंसल्ट कर रहे थे कि अपनी खुद की ले रहे थे, मुझे नहीं मालूम, मगर ये आंसर मिला था मुझे. सो उस दिन मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मैं जो भी काम करूंगा इंडिया कनाडा रिलेशंस के बारे में एज अ कंटेंट क्रिएटर, मैं गवर्नमेंट के से दूर रह के करूंगा, which is why I have stayed a mile away from the government. And believe me, it is the only reason I was successful over here.
Kushal on Canada is like that song from Rockstar, जो भी मैं कहना चाहूँ बर्बाद करे अल्फाज मेरे. Whatever I say उल्टा ही पड़ने वाला है.
It was insane. I know BJP screwed up big time and I will abuse them to my heart's content, but I'm not going to vote Congress. Whatever BJP is, INC are 100 times.
And I love the fact that he pays in dollars.
Yeah.
तुम्हारी
No,
माँ
I
का
mean,
भोसड़ा तो ये बीजेपी मादर चौथ होगी, मगर वो उनसे भी बड़े बड़वे हैं.
no, but I mean, it's a fact. Ultimately, that is the differentiating factor a lot of people say. But again, you vote for BJP does not mean if BJP messes up, you don't call them out. Simple. It's just that.
बॉस बीजेपी सपोर्ट बेस आइडियोलॉजिकल है. लोग उसको आईटी सेल पेड मीडिया बोलते हैं. जितना बीजेपी को बीजेपी के सपोर्टर पेलते हैं ना, मैंने पर कैपिटा कभी किसी कांग्रेस वाले को कांग्रेस को पेलते हुए नहीं देखा है, कभी नहीं मेरी लाइफ में. और मेरा धंधा है पॉलिटिक्स फॉलो करना, धंधा. जितने बीजेपी वाले बीजेपी को पेलते हैं.
I keep telling them गुजरात आओ, 30 साल से बीजेपी पावर में, फिर भी बेचारे पिटते हैं.
The whole handshake trophy drama has been done to add masala. This one-sided fixture would lose viewership naturally. This has spiced it up again.
No, it hasn't. I disagree. Talk to a cricket fan. What are they looking forward to? Playing Pakistan again next year's World Cup or the Ashes? I guarantee you they're going to say the Ashes. I guarantee you. So we'll see.
So this is interesting. ACC suffers from significant mismanagement and corruption, with many players of Pakistani origin favored in Gulf countries. I lived in a Gulf country and played under 16, under 19. I've always abused ACC.
This is actually a very valid point.
It happens in Canada also, by the way.
By the way, I have to ask something. All these players were not shaking hand with Pakistani players. There were many ex-Pakistani players who were playing for Oman, UAE, and India team is okay shaking their hands. I'm just saying. So there is some, but if you look at the teams of Oman, Hong Kong, UAE, they're essentially players from India and Pakistan.
It's all performative bullshit.
Right? So it's, exactly.
It's performative bullshit. Now that Dream 11 is no longer able to sponsor T20 tournaments, we can easily expand IPL over other T20 tournaments. These are the facts. Huh? I don't understand the correlation.
I'll tell you, because Dream 11 ka wo bill ki wajah se, they can't do the picks. So Dream 11 was sponsoring a lot of these international, I think Caribbean Premier League and stuff like that. So I think that's the, I hate to paraphrase, but I think that is what he's trying to say. But by the way, what do you guys think about this Dream 11 shutting down? Like the betting shutting down? Don't you think betting will still happen, right? I mean,
it's a stupid क्या हमारा देश में ना चुत्ते की जैसी पॉलिसी आई करते रहते हैं.
If you want a league that is international level, sports betting will have to be introduced.
हमारे नहीं यार, हम लोग है ना, हम लोग गांड से पैदा हुए हैं. हमारे ऊपर है ना अलग अलग चीजों का असर होता है.
ऑनलाइन
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, बाकी ह्यूमैनिटी है ना, वो लोग किधर और से निकले, हम गांड से निकले हैं
भाई.
हमारे ऊपर हर ह्यूमन एवोल्यूशनरी रूल है ना, हमारे ऊपर अलग अप्लाई.
अमेरिका में 10 से 15 बिलियन डॉलर्स जो रेवेन्यू बना है, एंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अक्रॉस लीग्स, वो सब स्पोर्ट्स बेटिंग, ऑनलाइन बेटिंग उससे आता है यार. That is so much money that we are just letting go. And for what reason? For bookies and stuff like that. This is betting ban is as silly as alcohol ban. And as a long time resident of a dry state, as I was in India, I've advocated कि alcohol allow करो, because वो अंदर से पैसा, नीचे से पैसा ज्यादा बनता है उसका. But we'll see.
सारे इंडिया में ना लोग गांड से पैदा हुए हैं. That's all I can say.
So there was a Supreme Court case pending on this, on games, online games and money, right? And during the pendency of which, on the Prime Minister's insistence, this is something that I've been told repeatedly, that the Prime Minister pushed for this, and there was all-party consensus. They passed a law banning the whole thing.
Wow.
मैंने क्या बोला? हम लोग गांड से पैदा हुए हैं.
All-party consensus is never a good thing on anything. Unanimous consent. My God. But
that when our players give it back to the other team, that too in the final, we have stupid people in the country who complain about sportsmanship. भाई किसने complaint की?
देखो भाई, ये gesture बुमराह का करना is giving it back. But not shaking hands after you decide to play them is silliness. And when you shake their hands before the World Cup, it's not sportsmanship, it's just inconsistency. अगर आपको if you don't want to be sports, you have sportsmanship, जेब में हाथ और टॉस में भी हाथ मत मिलाओ ना, ये क्या मतलब?
No, in fact, we were also making the point that if Bumrah had been captain, he would have gone at this with the hardest possible cricket, right? So we are all in favor of that. Give it back to them all you want. The rest of this.
Even the Pakistanis are in favor, यार, कि थोड़ा रखो फील्ड पे, थोड़ा ठीक ठाक. But don't be inconsistent.
अरे पाकिस्तान की ये हाल है, नेशनलिज्म करते हैं और सुम में दूसरा चैनल खोल लेते हैं कि भाई भारत के व्यूज चाहिए हमको, भारत के व्यूज. मैं तो नहीं खोलना जी. तू एक यूट्यूबर है, उसने बहुत वड्डी गल्ला की सी, ठीक है, और मैं तुम लोगों को प्राइवेट चैट में उसका नाम बता देता हूँ, ठीक है. बहुत बड़ी बातें करता था, बहुत बड़ी बातें, इतनी वड्डियां गल्ला करन दिया, ठीक है. मैं ते जी कुछ नहीं करना, मैं ते ऐ नहीं करना. उसने भी एंड में सुम में एक नया चैनल खोल लिया है. सुम में उसने खोला है, उसका अभी भी बैन है मेन चैनल, उसने सुम में खोल दिया है.
बोलो, बताओ.
अभी उसको बड़ा होने दो, फिर बैन करेंगे. ठीक है. One Punch Man is a hero who has a very iconic shiny bald head, but his 1500 meter dash time is 1 second. Abhijit Iyer Mitra's 1500 meter time would be 1 business day.
Now that is a punchline, if there ever was one.
ये अच्छा था. ठीक है. Modi Shah misread the mood and truly are emperors with no clothes. Will they make mistakes outside cricket too? ठीक है भाई, अगर आप लोगों को लगता है हर चीज में मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं तो वो आपका ओपिनियन. आई थिंक इट्स अ डेमोक्रेसी, यू आर फ्री टू हैव योर ओपिनियंस. In UK are treated like king as TV audience for sports podcasts, good commentary and limited advertising because there is a standard set by the central body. हमारे यहाँ की commentary देखिए हिंदी.
And not just Hindi, even the English commentators we get a bad. The viewer experience that the UK gives is you also get silent time just watching the field.
Yeah.
And how players are moving around and the general atmosphere of the crowd. It's a part of imbibing that entire atmosphere. It's very, very good thing.
You feel like you're on the field. I mean, like this Willow. I mean, यहाँ तो Willow पे आता है, but the Sky broadcast for the India-England Test series, best I've ever seen. Best. It was amazing. बेचारा रवि शास्त्री भी शांत हो जाता है यूके में ब्रॉडकास्टिंग करता है तब.
हाँ, वो सबको तमीज लानी पड़ती है.
आदित, you are a Rohit hater.
अरे भाई, I know his record in ODI. I also am not I'm not a member of a fan club. That doesn't mean that Rohit Sharma should not play till he's 40. Having that opinion makes him a hater. Makes me a hater. Come on, यार. क्या.
Do journos unlike 90s have no contacts today? No. आज भी journalists के contacts हैं. ODI squad is to come and there's no bigger ODI player than Virat ever. He deserves based on great CA Champions Trophy 25 form, but there's no one to tell fans his roadmap is one day eyes. Well, let's see.
Unlike the 90s.
No, but she's right about that there should be, like, in the context of Virat, you have to have some clarity that is sort of spoken about, at least, that what is your plan with him. You're in 25, you're absolutely correct. If Rohit is to be told you're not in, then Virat has to be told you're in. And like I said, my reasoning for that is I look at this batting lineup and I feel a little light on runs in the middle order and I want Virat there. I want him there.
But not even that.
Maybe not at 3, maybe at 4, but I want him there.
Why are we hell-bent on equating Rohit and Virat? Like, Rohit is...
Again, keep coming back to that. It's not about equating them in that way. It was about both of them were sort of compelled into these retirements, right? That's why the question
I'm not talking about you.
I'm talking about context.
Correct. But I'm talking about BCCI. So have a separate conversation about Ro and have separate conversation about Ko. ये Ro को बंद करो कि Rohit will do one thing, Kohli will do one thing. No, I mean, it should be separate.
No, I'm sure in their analysis it is different. Quite certain it is different. Problem for Virat is he created this jointness by matching Rohit's form in Test cricket.
Yes, that is true.
Good to see you all. And yeah, Kohli is better than Sachin. Chasing, yes, not batting first. I suggest BCCI to give Sony all the rights. भिखारी हो जाएंगे the way stream.
Bro, but eventually we need the numbers on this, man. It'll be very interesting. So the answer to the boycott question will be the
लिख के
numbers.
ले ले वो लोग numbers fudge करेंगे. मैं बात करके
No, I
अंदर
accept
numbers
करेंगे,
लेके
and I also want to. We must be having some check on that, yeah.
ये वो मूवी
उनको
कलेक्शन जैसा होगा, नेट बॉक्स ऑफिस नहीं, ग्रोस बॉक्स ऑफिस, टैक्सेस मिला के देंगे नंबर्स.
मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ, जैसे जियो ने जब हॉटस्टार ले लिया ना,
हाँ,
तो द फर्स्ट थिंग दे डिड वाज दे चेंज द कंकरेंट व्यूअर टू द
हाँ, तो
टोटल
इटर्नल
हिट्स.
व्यूअर्स,
जियो ने ये
total
गेम
viewers.
खेली थी.
हाँ.
पहले कैसा होता था, जब तू डिज्नी हॉटस्टार देखता था ना, तो तेरे को एक्चुअल लाइव व्यूअर्स मिलते थे कि 1 करोड़ देख रहे हैं, 2 करोड़ देख रहे हैं, ऐसे मिलते थे. जियो आया, जियो ने बोला ये तो बहुत गंदी बात है, हटाओ इसको.
तो टोटल व्यूज,
हटा दिया.
तो मतलब if मुकेश भाई opens the stream 10 times, he is known as 10 viewers. तो
Yes.
मतलब that is now Jio's model of
इसके लिए मैं बोल
showing
रहा
the
हूँ
views. तो सोनी का भी यही होगा कि टोटल व्यूज rather than वो.
सारे इंडियंस टोटल व्यूज करते हैं. गवर्नमेंट इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम अ हाइपर इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. आई डोंट नो.
I don't think.
No, I don't
I-
think
No, I don't know whether they are or they aren't, but I'm telling you this. I'm liking some of the comments only because they are seeing things for at least that this is an error.
The fact that they had to indulge in so many mental gymnastics is that they have accepted they
There
made a
should have been
mistake.
one adult in the room saying, "भाई साहब कितनी बेइज्जतियां करवानी है एक बार में?"
Correct.
They are.
And bro, एक सेकंड ये करते करते के बीच पे एक हार गए होते ना तुम. कल अगर एक लपेटा नहीं लगा होता कहीं पे, तो सरदर्दी होनी थी बहुत ही बड़ी.
बहुत ज्यादा.
And imagine the pressure on the cricket player because they know the consequences. कितना प्रेशर में खेलना पड़ता है क्रिकेट प्लेयर को.
नहीं, the fear and the issue was that they obviously were not like, मतलब हारने ही वाले थे वो लोग अगर एक विकेट गिरता तो. But if they had lost, we Indians didn't care if they won or not, but they would have definitely cared a lot if they lost. So बेचारे को जीत की इतनी तारीफ नहीं मिलती जितनी गाली मिलने वाली थी हार के, कि खेलना भी नहीं था और हार के आए, type of thing. But Kushal, चल, I'll have to leave.
तू निकल.
चलो,
I'll take the rest of the questions and I'll wrap up. चलो, bye.
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 Take care, Aadit. See you.
We have failed to honor our army's sacrifices and victims from Pahalgam to Uri, Balakot, Parliament. The elite remain indifferent. We act like a third-class nation. Sab bhul jayenge T20 World Cup. I don't know. Let's see. Stupid ban
No,
on
but the
betting.
larger sentiment is not wrong on that, Kushal.
Yeah.
There is a certain irritation about abhi kyun khel rahe.
I think they should not have played. I mean, I didn't cover the whole fucking tournament, and I run a cricket podcast. Stupid ban on betting, legalize betting for all I care. What the fuck government is doing, interfering in the businesses, educate not regulate. भाई मैंने ये बोला तो मुझे इतनी फेरिस से गालियां मिलती हैं.
नहीं ये तो मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ ना, this one came from the PM and it had complete concurrence from everyone.
Yeah, well, you are so right. Sometimes I don't get my head around the decisions the policymakers make. What's the point of losing so much revenue than taking this moral stand? There is no moral stand. I think it's stupidity. It's bad science. Assuming that bans work. Bans never work. They just fucking liquor bans. You have illicit liquor. So these people don't get it. They say keep politics out of sport, but according to their master, politics isn't shirt. It's in pants. It's everywhere. Arey yaar, has politics ever been kept out of sport? Ever? And what is this? Cricket is a gentleman's sport. Like, I can recommend a few books if people want to read the history of cricket and how it has inbuilt exclusiveness, inbuilt classism, inbuilt bullshit.
This is a gentleman's game thing we can leave aside for a minute, but we have to accept that a cricket match and a cricket tournament in the way it is conducted has certain ceremonial elements to it. You had to comply with those. That's the only thing here. There's no gentlemanly element here. This gentleman's game bullshit and the spirit of the cricket is the same crap the English raise every time they want somebody to be given out. For something out for them to not be given out. So I don't want to go down that path. But there is a ceremonial element to everything.
Yeah, there is a ceremonial element, but honestly, again, to wrap things up, it's
why do you play with each other if your boards are going to turn around and say हाथ भी नहीं मिलाना? मतलब ये क्या तरीका होता है? फिर खेल ही क्यों रहे हो?
We won 3 times against Pakistan, but did we really win? is a question
Yeah,
everybody.
we certainly should have been shaking hands after the third time saying, "Yeah, le, fir peli teri."
Like, okay, so till now we have 3,100 votes on the live stream. 23% said yes, the boycott worked. 49% said no, the boycott did not work. And 27% said maybe it worked. That's a
Yeah,
solid 50-50.
Yeah. But I'm shocked it's 50 on the positive side. That could never have been the case with cricket, brother. Never been the case earlier.
And these are cricket fans. I'm telling you, some of them have watched the match. Some of them, yeah. What do you make of Gautam Gambhir, the coach?
You know, Kushal, I wanted to actually do this earlier as well. I've got another podcast that I do with this younger colleague of mine, Sima, very bright guy. And we've discussed Gigi's decisions. We've discussed this Asia Cup stuff on that as well. And this rando decision making that you talk about, इसने जो इंग्लैंड टेस्ट सीरीज में दिमाग का दही बनाया ना, that was just remarkable. That first test selection was what the hell. And then for Kuldeep not to have played a single test match in the driest summer in which we've ever played in England since 90 is crazy. It's madness. Look at what Washi did at Lords, bro. Washi in one spell at Lords outbowled any spell bowled by Jaddu away from home in a Sena.
Yeah.
Kuldeep would have done a couple of those spells at least and would have given your bowlers more rest, your fast bowlers more rest.
But then with Jadeja, he had a fantastic tournament as a batsman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So pick him as a batsman, right? If you pick him as a batsman and you put him in the top 5, top 6, then after that, in your structuring, there's only bowlers, no? And you can have Jurel as well. Then you have only bowlers. Then you can take Kuldeep in. And Kuldeep is enough of a batsman in those conditions to sort of hold one end up. He's not a mug.
And one last remark about players should not be making these statements. You remember when Shoaib Malik had once said, we are praying for all the Muslims in the world?
But please, let's be clear, we hated that. We saw that as a stupid comment to make. The answer to this is not to stoop to their level there. No,
we have gone far worse.
Far worse. We disgraced ourselves this time around, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it in my mind.
Yeah. It's we are just a bunch of how do I say this? Like, we're just morons. I think we came across as morons in this entire tournament. Listen, we are the best white ball team in the world. That doesn't change the fact that we are from what I understand, that people have said that we dropped tons of catches in this tournament. We were not at our best and still we won the tournament without losing a game.
Yeah.
But what does it say about Asian cricket? What does it say about Asian cricket?
Nothing. All it says is what the Aussie commentators and the English commentators were saying from day one of this tournament, that India should not be playing this tournament because the gap is too big. We have played at about 60% ability and won this comfortably.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to add to this. Has there ever been a worse highly praised fast bowler than Haris Rauf? I have never seen this guy deliver at crunch time.
रेड बॉल बॉलिंग नहीं करता, टेप बॉलिंग करता, भोसड़ी वाला इसको सर पे चढ़ा के रखा है चूतियों ने. 4 ओवर से ज्यादा गांड में दम नहीं है इसके बॉलिंग
in a match in which the batting innings run rates was 7.4, 7.5, 7.7 or 7.8, not even 7.8, 7.3, 7.4. This guy went at 13. Yeah, you're a king.
किंग तो सिर्फ बाबर आजम है.
नहीं यार, ये उस टाइप का किंग है. तू तो महाराजा है, तेरे को तो रोज खिलाना है.
इंडियंस कितने डिप्रेस्ड है मालूम है. नॉर्मली इतना पिलाई के बाद इंडियंस जाके पाकिस्तानी यूट्यूब देखते हैं, मगर भैंचोद अभी तो पाकिस्तानी यूट्यूब भी बैन है.
तो स्पेस रिकॉर्डर मिलता रहता है बीच में.
हाँ, स्पेस रिकॉर्डर तो बेस्ट है यार.
No, but उसमें भी अभी यार देखो, because वो मजा भी नहीं आने वाला, because वो भी हमको ही फेल रहे हैं ना अभी. Right now they're on us.
Yeah.
That we screwed up, yeah.
See, वो देख, पाकिस्तानियों का क्या है मालूम है, उन लोगों का एक ही फंडा है कि हम पे जो बेशरम है, हम तो बेशरम ही हैं. तो ठीक है, करो यार, करो. चलो, anyways, चल यार, let's wrap up. So everybody go follow Nikhil. तेरा नया चैनल क्या है जो उसका क्या नाम है?
We call it Sports Center, but you'll get the link from my Twitter profile. And I wanted to have both you and Aadit on it on a couple of topics that go beyond cricket also. I know you're on a cricket pod, but there's a couple of sports that I think that a couple of things that we discussed that I think you'll find interesting, Aadit will in particular. So I've got to have you on it. But this political side, we've got to have we did a discussion today. Let's say we do one 4 days later. Let's see what the feeling is then.
Let's see. I genuinely believe my firm answer before we wrap up is I think the boycott was working very well, which is the reason the government indulged in all these antics. And then the government defeats the boycott. That also is an equal reality. They defeated the boycott because the final spoke for itself. Yes,
they defeated the boycott in terms of viewership numbers rose, but they have not defeated the underlying sentiment that comes through in the criticism they're getting today.
So देख ये लड़का he's a professional cricket journalist. हम इंडिया के सारे मैच में अपने ऐप पे लाइव करते हैं. एशिया कप में शुरुआती 2 भारत पाकिस्तान मैच में नंबर करीब 15 से 20% कम थे. फाइनल में सारा रिकॉर्ड टूट गया. ये सबके साथ हुआ है. सबके व्यूअरशिप नंबर्स है ना कम थे. एंड देन क्योंकि ये जो गवर्नमेंट ने ये किया और फिर वो हारिस राव और उन लोगों ने किया ना, वहां से फिर जो फेंस सिटर था ना, तेरे और मेरे जैसा हार्ड लाइनर नहीं, फेंस सेटर मला हुण नहीं छड़ना पैंचोद नो मैच देख के गल्ला कर दनिया.
हां, इमोशन बढ़ जाते हैं यार उस टाइम पे. यू एंड आई आर लुकिंग एट दिस गोइंग लाइक ये ड्रामा है. आई एम नॉट फॉलोइंग फॉर दिस ड्रामा.
या
but most fans are like the hell with it. Yeah, my emotion is getting to me right now and I appreciate that. They have every right to feel that way.
So fans को beyond the point क्या बोले, players को beyond the point क्या बोले.
यार एक तो क्रिकेट मैच ना देखना अपने में बहुत बड़ी बात है. ऊपर से ये सेंटिमेंट भी तुम चढ़ा लोगे, उसके बाद आदमी ना देखे तो बहुत ही मुश्किल काम है.
हाँ, और यार देख फॉर अ कंट्री लाइक यार हम तो है ही बेशर्म. मैं तो मैच गली क्रिकेट भी बैठ के देख लेता हूँ. मेरे वहां पे तो 2 बच्चे खेल रहे होंगे गांधी मैदान पे, बेंचो मैं उधर जाके बैठ के देखना शुरू हो जाता हूँ क्रिकेट मैच. भाई हमारी तो लाइफ ब्लड है ये स्पोर्ट. हम तो पागल है ये स्पोर्ट के बारे में. तो फिर क्या बोले. तो वो है. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स रैप अप गाइस. बट बिफोर वी रैप अप अगेन, go follow Nikhil and Aadit. Go subscribe to Mindmakers and Sports Central. As Nikhil has said, it's there on his X profile. So जाके जब इसको सब्सक्राइब फॉलो करोगे अगर X पे, तो YouTube का चैनल का भी होगा, वहां पे फॉलो कर लेना. And as you guys know that this podcast runs only on one-time donations through UPI or Interac Canada, or through your monthly membership donations, whether on YouTube or on Patreon. So do consider joining that too. All the details, whether it's the merchandise, whether it's my books, everything is there in the description of the podcast. And if you have not liked this video till now, do hit that like button and subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care. Bye.